So, the Order's right about one thing. We attract Voidwoken.
Even bigger shame to know Fran's floating miles off the coast somewhere. Ain't no seaman without a proper bighorn. Fella builds his throne on the banks of thousands, and the Order lets his statue stand.
I'm not supposed to talk to dwarves.
The child considers your statement.
You're weird. Are you a sorcerer? One of those guys that brings the bad void things here?
The child looks at you straight on, unafraid, searching your face. He lifts his mirror to his nose, closes one eye, and looks at himself again.
I don't see any source on you or me. I guess they're wrong. Or crazy. No one cares where I go. They know I can't leave the island. It's nicer out here than inside anyway. But you didn't die. There isn't anywhere safer. That's what I mean. You'll see. I guess I am, but it's just normal to be...
Boring. Voidwoken. Those are the same beasts that sank our ship. Stop!
Drowned and eaten by a void woken. Now, I wonder in which order.
Stare at the slain beasts and comment that they must have been the cause of the shipwreck.
I just want to get out.
This is no time to...
You have my gratitude.
Hand over heart, he salutes you with a bob of the head. More than a nod, though less than a bow.
Yes, I'm sure you've all the makings of a hero and all that, but let's not get carried. Nevertheless, one good turn does deserve another, so as far as the whole... Now then, if there's nothing further... If you really must know, I haven't quite decided yet. I've a frightful amount of things on my mind, hence my standing here.
He sighs,
Tell me, what do you see when you cast your glance over this ocean? You're everything. We see...
He looks out over the water once more, and so do you. A few...
As for myself, when I consider this vast, I see continents dotted with mighty cities. And shimmering along the soft curve of the sea's horizon, I picture the palaces that formed my paradise. Lost. Of course, it's rather specific. Quite obviously, I'm musing over the very actual empire that I lost.
Suddenly, having all the air of being deeply offended, he stares.
Well, don't just stand there gawking like an ape at an abacus. Or do you really mean to tell me you don't know who I am? The very same. I am the Red Prince, the All-Conqueror, the World-Tamer, the Spouse of the Sun. Of course you know me.
There's a brief moment's pause, during which his grandiloquent pose deflates ever so...
That said, I suppose I must own up to the fact that I find myself rather in between all-conquering and world-taming opportunities at the moment. Grandeur that is my fate has hit a bit of a snag. But never you worry. For the throne I was destined, and my throne I shall have. This and that. Tag along. Do you really mean to compare the fate of an empire to whatever... On the other hand, I really could do with a dog's body. And you've already proven to be trustworthy enough. You came back for the others on that ship, after all. Fine, I accept, on one condition. For reasons I'll not disclose right now, it is imperative that I should meet with a dreamer, one of the mystics of my kind. I've reason to believe one of them may be present on this island. Promise me we'll look for him, and I'll extend you the blessing of my company. You do tend to beat around the bush, don't you? Oh well, that wishy-washy answer will have to do then. So, now that that's settled, first things first. Even if you are as versed in the art of eloquence as I am, That our swords will be doing a lot of the talking from here on out goes without saying. As a born fighter, I prefer the perfection of the blade myself. But I'm well acquainted with the secrets of magic, and yes, even subterfuge. What say you? Wizardry is embedded in my nature as deeply as the instincts to breathe and drink and mate. The dominion over fire suits me best, truth be told, but there is no school of magic I cannot master. Very well. Onwards then to victory or death.
The Red Prince nods and gives you a smile that wavers ever so delicately between courtesy and contempt.
Now, as you're aware, you'll be travelling with a prince. Proper forms of address include Your Majesty, Your Royal Highness, or if you're feeling particularly frivolous, Milord. As your luck would have it, I seem to be fresh out of luggage, so you won't be required to carry my belongings. Of course, there are other forms of protocol to bear in mind, but I'll see to it you'll pick up the rest as we go. So, without further ado, let us be off.
The cat's eyes are clouded and grey, but its eyes clear.
What's this? I found something.
If you can tell the Godwoken no more, your tongue is of no use. Cut it out.
This can't be serious, Alexander. Come!
You should know by now to obey your superior, Magister, whatever she may ask.
Atusa pinches the tip of her tongue with 2 fingers and brings her dagger to its root. Her eyes squeeze shut. Drops of blood form against the dagger's edge and quickly fall to the ground. She groans.
Stop! My father, may his soul rest in peace, would be disappointed in you, Atusa. To think you would lie to his only son.
Alexander. But wait, he's too well protected here.
I'd sooner cut my tongue out than lie to you, Alexander.
If you can tell...
This can't be...
You should know by now to obey your superior, Magister, whatever she may ask.
Stay silent, dwarf!
Atusa pinches the tip of her tongue with 2 fingers and brings her dagger to its root. Her eyes squeeze shut. Drops of blood form against the dagger's edge and
Stop! My father, may his soul rest in peace, would be disappointed in you, Atusa. To think the fate of our realm hangs in the balance. If you will not help us save it. And Alice?
Yes, Your Holiness?
I believe we're...
Come, we'll be needed
the
elsewhere.
lizard magister, or what's left of her, lies in a puddle of gore.
These magisters are almost vicious enough to join the lone wolves.
She was a lizard, yet a magister. No matter her reasons, her penalty was fair.
Should I put this one?
Junk.
Ooh, that's a pretty one. Hey, mister. It's a lot nicer here than that stinking boat, huh? I'm sure glad some of the others made it out alive too. So... now where should I put this one?
Damnation! That stuck fast. I wonder, does the beard act as some form of anchor? Ah! No! Stay back! Oh, it's you. I must admit I'm surprised. Perhaps you're more buoyant than I suspected. It seems the human that stole my mask was rather more resourceful than I gave her credit for. I chased her here, but she rather seems to have given me the slip.
He turns back to the body, prodding at its face cautiously.
Oh, yes. An exceptionally common, but a face that seems rather stubborn. I would normally employ a tool to delicately but viciously. I could then craft a mask to hide my bone. But...
the skeleton grabs the corpse by the cheeks and pulls hard, grunting in frustration as the body's skin holds firm.
Carved? Please. You hardly think I am one of your breed, do you? You have never seen anything like it because you have never met any... Simply put, I am an eternal, and you are not. Indeed, no one seems to have the good taste to be. At least from this realm. As for the others, well, there is a cult? Hardly. We were a race that existed before the idea of race was needed. I could ask you to imagine an Eternal as a creature of incredible intelligence and skill. But I fear the limits of your imagination would... We studied the mysteries of the universe. We created works of great art. We disappeared. But I will find them. Wherever they are, I will find them. We will have our world. Well, that hardly seems relevant. Several centuries, in fact. I was sealed in a tomb for daring to be curious about the world. Perhaps I should thank him. It seems I was spared whatever happened to the others. I wonder if... well, that every one of your races resembles... Perhaps my people have ascended to some... Regardless, they are not here. But I will find them, wherever they are. Yes, yes, by which I'm...
You hear a small whimpering sound from behind a basket. The child quiets and seems comforted by your presence.
There are monsters here. Lizard ones and real ones. It's really scary. And I miss my ma and pa. Master was a lizard. She sent us here. Me, Ma, and Pa. It's their fault I'll never see Ma and Pa again.
Go! Get out! You are not welcome here. Go, man-pig! This is my... You hear me, human?
Burrow looks you up and down, sizing up.
Ah, get out of here. The both of you. You ain't worth the sweat of my...
The elf smiles and...
Bolted on there tight, ain't it?
The old dog whimpers. The dog focuses at the...
To be vulnerable in a place like this is tough. You may keep your shame for yourself. An open heart knows the difference between... It is not wrong to walk in the camp. It is wrong to assault one walking. You walk among the humans too long if you think differently. I hear of no escapes. The only way out is through the Magisters. In this cave, we trust the healer. She is young, but she sees. She knows more. It gives me great pain. I'm with my family. Wait, before I am not here without your help. I do not forget this. For you, a prize. I save it for a special occasion, but thank you.
Whoever kills the other is the boss! Shut! Got you! I know they help.
Thank you for your help with that, thug. Rare is the human who goes against their own for an elf.
Shut! Got you! Whoever kills the other is the boss! You can't get me! You're too slow! Wait, I call a timeout!
She smiles.
I won't forget your aid, friend. I hear of no escape. In this cave, it gives me...
I'll stab you right in the eye!
No one tells me there are so many children in this Fort Joy. Your kind I handle, but
I do
small
not see
ones. Stay in this cave a while.
The young girl's eyes are covered, but she turns toward you when you approach. She smiles as though she recognizes you, though she couldn't have seen your face.
Ah, hello. I see it.
Wary all of a sudden.
I cannot offer you much.
Her eyebrows.
There can be a way I protect. He is caught by those who hurt him. I wish so much for his return. And he tells you what you bring me. I see something. Yes, please ask. I feel him, but I do not see him. I do not see him.
You are in the wrong place, Pinky. Military, are you? Be at ease here, and well met.
This hole is too small for you to squeeze into. Amidst a crowd of screws, bolts, and scraps of metal,
And what you after?
I ain't.
she looks
You looking to buy something? All manner of things.